Yay. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. It's Fab Friday. So I'm calling this Fab Friday. Every Friday at 11, my intention is to do a Facebook Live for you guys and stream it out to YouTube as well as a couple of my groups. So shout out to you if you're in my free group, which is called Amplify Your Impact, Business and Wellness. Shout out to you. Thank you for joining us, or maybe you're watching from the Facebook page. So I wanted to do this one for the business peeps. So I sometimes on Fab Friday, I feature special guests. And last week we had Shelley Gowith talking about wellness. The week before that, we had Judith Yeebsley talking about fussy eaters. So sometimes the topic can be super niche and specific. But today, this one is just me today, and it's especially for you guys. Whatever you want to discuss, I would love to talk about business. And specifically, the theme this week was emotions and mindset. And I know for a lot of people, it's such an interesting, trying time, challenging time, looking at how to position yourself, how to be more visible, how to stay positive. So partly it's shifting your mindset, and partly I think it's also shifting the way that you show up and also what you offer. So what I'm suggesting today is take some time to really dive into going back to the basics of your business, meaning the how, the why, the what, the when, and the where of your business. And look at how maybe it might be time to not necessarily pivot, if pivot seems too much of a buzzword, but too much of a big step for you. But it might be a zhuzh. Like maybe you just need a little bit of a zhuzh on your business. And maybe it's the messaging, making sure that you are aligned with the times in the way that you're coming across to your audience. Also possibly revisiting your audience. Like, who are they? Where are they? Are you actually in the right places? I went to a brilliant training the other day with a lovely woman named Andrea. She did a session all about LinkedIn. I'm a huge LinkedIn fan. I often encourage my clients to get on LinkedIn, depending on what their business is. But there's so much you can do in the advanced search feature and connecting with people specifically in different niches. So if you're not on LinkedIn, it's definitely something to look out if you look out for. And if you want to learn more about LinkedIn, I'm not a LinkedIn expert, but I certainly have a few tips I would love to share with you guys. So comment if you want to think about LinkedIn. Also, let us know what your business is. So if you're watching this live or watching the replay, definitely pop a link below so that we can network, and maybe we can even, hey, let's maybe share a couple of posts if you see something that's relevant to you. So let's dive into the who, the what, the why. So have a think about your business. So the first thing is the who. So who are your people? Right? So if we're talking about who are your people, who is your ideal client or your avatar, these are common words that you would have heard, but it might be a really good time to revisit and reconnect with who that person actually is. So for myself, I have a couple of different ideal clients, but specifically, so you might go, oh, well, I work with women in business. So that might be you. You might go, oh, I work with women in business, but who on the spectrum? So for me, I go, I work with women in business who are speakers or business owners who want to use their voice, coaches or consultants, to get their message out, and they're impact driven. I use the words impact driven. So again, what we're doing is we're narrowing the niche. And the idea is that your ideal client goes, yeah, that's me. They can self-identify. They can literally raise their hand and be like, that's me. So we want to make sure that in your messaging, you're super clear so that your ideal clients can put their hand up and go, yeah, that's me. And they know that you're the person for the job. So I've got a few women actually at the moment I'm working with. They're in my Amplify membership, and a lot of them are either in the wellness space or the parenting space, interestingly. I've got a couple who are in business as well, but I've got quite a few in parenting and wellness. Now, those also are very broad niches. So for example, Judith, who was on this live stream a few weeks back, so she works with parents who have kids who are fussy eaters. So parenting niche, parents who have children who are fussy eaters, right? That's only going to be a small proportion, but there's nothing wrong with being like hyper niched. So it might be time for you to revisit who your niche is, and then possibly to even niche even further. Now, I mentioned I had a couple of niches. That's because I do have two specific businesses that overlap. So I also just got off a call with my doTERRA team. So this is the wellness side of my business, wellness. Now, within the wellness side of my business, obviously there's a lot of customers. They tend to be mothers, and specifically, but in terms of who I'm working with as leaders on my team, they definitely are niche. They are definitely business owners who are women who want to have more impact. So there's the impact driven thing again, and they want to have more income and they want to have more leverage. So again, it goes from, women who are generally mothers who all are business owners who want to have more impact, they want to have more income. And so it becomes this really specific niche. Like those tend to be the type of people that I attract and that are drawn to me to join my doTERRA team. So I have these two specific niches. So what about you? And go ahead and comment if you're watching. Let us know your niche. Who specifically are you looking to work with? So let's go back to the parenting example. So we had Judith with the fussy eaters. I also have Anne as well, Anne Cullen. She was on my live stream panel many weeks back in the Supporting Kids Through Challenging Times episode. Now she works with parents. Well, really, she works with mothers. So we take the dads out of the picture. She works with mothers who feel like it's my time. It's my time to shine. Like I'm ready. It's my time to look after myself, look after number one. I've spent years looking after everyone else, right? So it goes from, parents to mothers who feel like it's my time. So your niche might be described like demographically, or it might also be described as who. Like it might be women who are busy professionals, busy professional women, right? Or women who are feeling overwhelmed and time poor. Like, so you can use who are as a kind of descriptor to narrow your niche, to make it super clear so that your ideal client goes, yeah, that's me. Does that make sense? Are you hearing me? So that's the who part of revisiting your business model. Now let's go to what. So this is the what are you offering? And specifically in these times, so we're in level 2 at the time that I'm recording this. So we're in this world of COVID. And it's like, what exactly are you selling? Some people will say it's not a good time to sell, like it's really rude. You should just be generous and be giving. I say it really depends what you're selling. And also it depends on your money need. If you're in a position where you're like, well, that's great that you don't think I should sell, but I actually need to pay the bills, then I think sell. But sell so that you are aligned with the times, and what you're specifically offering is needed by people. We're going to see a few new industries pop up, but we're also going to see people pivot, obviously, and also judge what they're offering. So, for example, my beautiful friend Susan Somerville, she's a guest on Tuesday next week on the Building Resilience episode. She had a business where she went into office spaces and brought nature inside. So she's all about nature is medicine. She would go into office spaces, get plants, really look at the way the layout, and it's all around mental health. Well, when everything shut down and people couldn't go into their office spaces, what did she do? She judged her business model or pivoted, and now she helps people to create their own veggie gardens at their own homes. So her and her best friend work together. They go to homes now, residential places, and work alongside the person to help them, or maybe make it for them, done for you, done with you, and done for you. And they make veggie gardens. So it's still helping people with nature and mental health, but it's not in the office space. So she's done a bit of a pivot, but still the same why, the same intention, the same mission. So if you can apply that same logic to yourself, maybe there's something that you can either change about what you're offering, or you can offer something new. So one thing I discussed, again, in my Amplify membership, every week I do a theme, a specific theme and a focus for the week. Well, maybe it was about a month ago. We did looking at your tiny offer or your micro offer, your entry level offer. So you'll often see me do this. And I say to people, this is the ramp that my friend Katrina McCarter uses, and I use it all the time. And it's basically, how do people start working with you? They often will have a freebie or a discovery call, although I don't like that word. So we're going to come up with something more exciting. And then what? Can they buy something that's not too expensive? So ideally under that, the $29 or less price point. And then they can work with you in a couple of different ways. Not too many. We don't want to overwhelm people. But I always encourage you to have, especially if you're a service-based business, even if you're a product, a high-end offer, like something that's like super pricey, and like that's cool. A middle offer, a lower end offer, a tiny offer, and then something that's free at the start of that ramp. And so maybe for you, it's time to think, well, what can I take that I've already got, but offer just a little small portion of that, possibly in a leveraged model, meaning maybe it's 1 or 2 videos and a download worksheet or a checklist, and you sell that for $29. Not a long video, just like 10-minute video and a worksheet, done. $19. $29. So for some of you, these prices are going to feel like really cheap. And for some of you, you'll think, oh, what could I create that, but have a think about it. If you're a service-based business, is there something you could create once and sell it often? So that's leverage in your business. You're also able to amplify your impact because you're helping more people. Maybe they can't afford your middle or your high-end stuff, but they'll probably buy and would buy something that's $29 or less. One of the girls in my group, she did exactly that. She created something smaller from what she already had. She flicked out an email, and over the weekend, she made like $300. So wouldn't it be great to have something on hand, on tap, that if you felt like it, you could flick out an email and make a couple $100? Wouldn't that be cool? So this is what I'm thinking about, is the micro offer, or the tiny offer, or the entry level offer, whatever you want to call it. It's a way for people to get started working with you. Even if they've been following you for a while, you might have people on your email list that have been opening some of the emails and not opening all of them. And they might suddenly just buy your entry level thing. And then who knows, once they get the hang of you and they watch a couple of videos, maybe then they'll want to work with you more. So that's the idea. Same thing with a product-based business, right? It's like, what do you have that is more entry level for someone that just can't jump in and spend 150? Do you have something smaller that they can start with? So that's something to really start thinking about. Here's the other thing. I want to talk about prices, because I feel like I think it's a good time to be selling if you either need to, but make sure you do it with tact. And also if you're selling what people need. So I sell visibility online, presenting online, and wellness. So people are open to those things and they are purchasing at the moment. So if you're in the mindset that no one's buying right now, that is not true, but they're buying what they feel like they need. So here's an interesting thing that I read about the other day. I'm always reading a few geeky business books, and they talked about people will buy what they want, not what you think they need. So also throw that into the mix. What is it that people actually want to buy? Like they will buy what they want, not what you think they need to buy. So you can ask your audience. You can be like, hey, what would really serve you now? Like I'll ask you guys. I have an idea of a tiny offer that I'm going to create. And it is around presenting online. But I would love to ask you, what would be helpful for you? Like a video and a worksheet, maybe a checklist. The kind of stuff I usually do, but I don't know if it's super relevant right now, is 6 things you need to know for going on TV or radio to get interviewed. I mean, is that relevant right now? For some people, it will be. But presenting online, doing Facebook Lives and Zooms, is that going to be helpful? Let me know. Or if you have any other ideas, super open to it. So let's talk about pricing. I think it is a good time to sell if you've got the right thing for people's needs and wants. I don't think it's a good idea to massively slash your prices. I feel like bonusing your offers is smarter. So if you normally, let's say you had a course and it's normally whatever, $399 or something, and you go, oh my gosh, I'm going to do it for $199. You can do that for sure. And that's totally cool, especially if it's something leveraged that it doesn't take your time or energy. Like it's literally very leveraged model. It doesn't involve you doing a coaching session as well. Like that's fine. But I also would encourage you to add bonuses. Like if you buy this, you also get that. So that you can bonus things up to make them more valuable and let people know, it's $399, but when you get my course, now you also get this. So the total value is like $700 or whatever. So that's what I mean by bonus, adding a bonus. And you can do that as well with a product-based business. You can add a bonus. Hey, when you order in the month of June, we're also going to throw in a free whatever. So that's something that I sometimes do with my essential oils. It's like, hey, if you order essential oils to the value of $50 or more in the month of June, you'll get a free whatever, citrus bliss oil from me or something like that. So you can do the bonus in terms of product or service. So we did the who, we did the what. Let's talk about why. So, and the why can be coming back to your why. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I like pouring my time, love, and energy into it? And so revisiting your why can help strongly connect you to your business and come back to the positive emotions and the mindset that you need. Because in business, right, you need to be able to dust yourself off. You need to be able to pick yourself up and to stay positive if things aren't going as great as you thought they were, because it is a journey. It's a winding river, and it's not easy, but neither is having a job. So, it is a journey. It's an adventure for sure. So coming back to the why. And also the why is also, why are people going to buy from you? So I want to talk about that too. You might have heard me talk about what's cool about you. So sharing with people not just, giving value and educating them on the specific niche and the topic in the product that you sell, but also letting them know a little bit about you. And during my interviews, I do this segment, which I call What's Cool About You. And I encourage people to do that in their marketing as well. Share with people other talents or quirks or things that you've done, achievements that you've done that don't necessarily relate to your specific business, because people will connect with you and then they might even buy from you. It's what differentiates you from the other person that sells something super similar. Thank you for your question. Yeah, please do keep the questions coming in. Whether you're watching the replay or not, I will come back and I will revisit the questions. I love Q&A. If you're in a group, I can't see your name, so you can maybe type your name if you want to as well. Somebody's saying, totally, as the why is the biggest driver of motivation. Yes, if you are not connected to your why, like let's say you started your business many years ago and like life has changed and you don't really you don't care so much about the product that you were selling before, it's going to come across to your audience. They're going to feel it. Even for me, I started off as a parenting author for parents who had kids age 5 and younger. Well, my youngest is now 9, so I'm not in that realm anymore. But I have pivoted and zhuzhed and tweaked my business along the journey because I just want to stay in the zone of love and focus on the stage I'm at. So nowadays, I'm more likely to talk about teens and tweens. And that's more my journey at the moment. So you got to come back to your why and why you're doing it. Now, your customer, also your ideal client, they also need to know why what you're selling is going to help them. And so I listened to this great training a few weeks ago. Kendall Summerhawk was talking about using vision-based marketing instead of fear-based marketing. So fear-based marketing is when you see people going, are you struggling with this? Are you tired of that? Like that kind of negative vibe. And visionary marketing is more painting the picture of what is possible. And this is a great, and without making it sound too airy-fairy, you can literally be like, hey, for one of my girls, Judith, who does the fussy eating, I was saying to her, why don't you do something along the lines of, picture this, ... You sit down at the dinner table, and instead of being the usual stress and angst, your child is eating peacefully. And ... And you carry on. So it's that kind of picture this or imagine this. And you're painting the picture of what is possible, of what it will look like if they buy your product or work with you. And kind of it's the result that you can deliver, but you don't have to use the word result. Thanks, Rob Robertson. You did such a great job as a guest on my panel. It was awesome to hear your insights. Thank you so much. Yeah, emotions and mindset, they are so crucial. Anyone in business, anyone in a job, anyone out of a job. I mean, it's the kind of topic that really taps into every aspect of our life. So really honing into your why, and then your why for your customer and your client. Like, why are they going to say yes to working with you? Let's go into the when. So the when side of it is, I guess, kind of the when to sell. Like we've already touched on that a little bit before. And maybe I'll talk a little bit about the when and the where. We'll make this a where as well. So where to sell, obviously, some of you will have e-commerce on your website so people can purchase there. In fact, I had one of those nights where I have these a lot. I was up at 3 a.m. with all these ideas. I got out of bed and I already had a recommended for you page on my website, which is literally a couple of products and services and courses that I love genuinely and that I recommend. And it has really bad formatting. It was not visually appealing. It was just bad. So I decided I was going to do it again, and I was going to base it on the new testimonials page that I just made because I like the way that looks. It's called Meet My Clients. So I literally duplicated that page. I use WordPress, duplicated my testimonials page, created this page called Shop Recommended for You. And what I was trying to do was make it easy for people to buy my book, because I realized I barely ever talk about my book. And now they've created this new page called New Zealand, what is it called? Buy New Zealand Local or something. There's like 43,000 people in that group. And you're not allowed business services. You're not allowed multi-level marketing, but you are allowed New Zealand-based products. And I thought, oh, well, my book, Jackie and I are both, Kiwi, international Kiwis, and it's a New Zealand, book. So maybe I could sell it there. So that got me thinking, okay, I need to make it easy for people to buy my book. So I guess where I'm going on this is, where can people purchase from you? Is it easy to buy? I often will use PayPal. It's not the best, but like I'll have a landing page on my website. for example, for my networking event, and then they went through and it was PayPal. So where are you selling? Where are you promoting what you're doing? Making sure that it's aligned with where your people are actually hanging out. So that takes us back to question number 1, which is, who are your people? Who are your niche? Where are they hanging out? Are they on Instagram? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Facebook? Where are they? And making sure that you're selling in the right places and in the right language, like I already mentioned earlier. Okay, so the final thing is the how, is the how you're going to sell. And again, that is partly of your message, partly the message around that. And I want to give this a really good example. I shared it with my doTERRA team this morning when I was talking to them about niching. And I said, people don't come to me and they don't say, you know what, I really want better wellness. Like, they don't come to me and say, I want wellness, even though, so if I'm going out there going, let me amplify your wellness and let me help you have the wellness you want. I do use those phrases, but it's like, actually, people don't come to me and say, can you give me better wellness? They go, what do you have for anxiousness? What do you have for sleep? Like, they say, what do you have for? So it's a matter of using the language back to your audience or your clients that they're giving to you. So it's a matter of listening and then feeding back the language that they're using instead of the language that I was trying to use, which is like, let me help you have the wellness you want. So that was interesting. And here's another little story that I shared. So I've got an amazing speaker coach. His name is Steve, and he shared this story with us around this tennis coach named, I think it was Brian. So Brian's a tennis coach, and, Brian put out to the world like tennis lessons for kids, sign up here, sign your kid up for tennis lessons, right? And like nobody signed up. So then he changed his angle. So instead of selling what he was selling, which was tennis lessons, this is like me trying to sell the wellness, he changed the messaging. And instead he said, hey, moms, wouldn't you, like, how would you feel about having 2 hours free on a Saturday to go out for coffee or go for a walk and do what you want while your child is exercising, getting fit, and having time off the iPad? Wouldn't that be great? And the moms were like, hell yeah, that'd be awesome. Hey, my name's Brian and I teach tennis. And like all the people wanted to sign their kids up for tennis. Why am I telling you this story? Because sometimes it's so helpful to not blatantly sell what we're actually selling, but we want to sell what the people actually want, right? So what do the moms want? What does every mom want? They want me time. They want my time. They're like, they just want to like have a freaking conversation with their friend without the kid interrupting or whatever, depending on the age of the child. And then the kids turn into teenagers and they don't want to hang out with them anymore. And it's very sad. We're not at that stage just yet over here. So I like that tennis analogy because it really helps you think about, well, how am I marketing myself? Like, what messages am I putting out? And is that really what my ideal client feels? Because we want to use their language and we want to offer them what they want, which not necessarily is tennis lessons, but they definitely want the child-free time to like have a coffee and go for a walk. Tanya McQueen, thank you for your comment. Great video, and thank you for all your tips. Just wanting to know how you got the subtitles to work doing the live. Is it working now? Is it part of the platform you're using? Yes, it is, and thank you for asking. So I'm using StreamYard. Now, what I found, I don't know about you guys, when I try to do a Facebook Live on my phone or on my laptop, if I'm just doing a Facebook Live into a private group or something like that, I find it blurry, like the quality is not awesome at the moment just because of the new way that they're doing it. And the way that the image is kind of down on the screen, I kind of don't know where to look exactly. So I use StreamYard because I use it for my interviews because it allows me to have guests. But here's the reason why I also use it for my solo Facebook Lives is because it allows me to stream to 5 locations at once. Yes, I do pay for that. I pay for the pro plan. If you want to do the free plan, you can go to one location, but you can change that location. So one day you might go to a Facebook group. The next day you might go to your public page. The next day or the same day, you might go to your personal page. So it doesn't matter. You can go all over the place, or maybe your YouTube channel, but you can just stream to one location at one given time. And that's the free plan. The next plan, you can do 3 locations at the same time. So it's called multi-streaming. So it's a platform to multi-stream, but I chose the pro so I can go to 5 locations. So at this moment, I'm going to my Go-To Girl public page, my Amplify membership, which is my paid group for speakers and coaches and consultants. Join it if you want to get all my tips all the time. I'm going to my free group, which is my Amplify Your Impact Business and Wellness group, and I'm going to my YouTube channel. To answer your question, there's my preamble. To answer your question, part of what StreamYard does is they like just naturally pick up what you're saying and they like feed along in text, which is pretty cool. I don't know if all you in all those locations can see it, so let me know if you can see it. What I often do after I wrap this up, I'll go back and I'll edit the description with a little bit more detail. Like in this Facebook Live, here are some of the things I covered, and I'll add a little bit of detail. And then I think it lets me click the button if I want to have the subtitles appear. So definitely I do. One of the things I think is true is that because I'm Canadian Kiwi, it picks up pretty accurately because the way that I speak, obviously we're very enunciated, whereas Kiwis and Aussies and you know, people in the UK and everything, it doesn't always pick up the same, like with your terminology and just the intonation, it's not as clear. So there's a few more errors is what I've heard. Same thing as if you're a talker like me and you prefer to talk then write, you can use when you're in Google Docs, you can use the microphone and you can do the Google transcription, but same thing. I think it kind of is not as clear with the Kiwi accent and possibly the Aussie as well. So I hope that answers your question. I hope that's helpful. That's pretty much what I had for you guys today. You know, every week, Fab Friday, I want to bring you guys some gold. And sometimes I'll have a guest with me and I'll be kind of interviewing them and really diving deep into their topic. If you missed Shelly last week, you think I'm full on, you guys. Check Shelly out. She's awesome. She's a wealth of knowledge. I will put the replay link below. Also, if you have friends who have kids that are fussy eaters, Judith doesn't actually like that term, but that's the term that her ideal clients use. She helps them become confident eaters. That's the term she uses. And I'll put that link below as well, because it's just a matter of connecting people to the right people, because I feel like everyone's struggling with something. Like I don't have fussy eaters, but you know, we've got other things. We've got dyslexia and we've got alopecia. So, you know, everyone's got their thing, and it's just a matter of connecting people with the right person. And that's why I'm the go-to girl. And that's what I do. If you haven't seen my live stream series, please check it out. I think I don't even know what episode we're up to, but I've got a beautiful friend, Joe Davenport, who is doing the show notes for me. So we're getting a little bit more up to date on that. I even posted one on LinkedIn as an article last night. So go me, wanting to be a little bit more active on LinkedIn. So I will put the link below if you want to check out those. Next week, we're doing building resilience, like I mentioned before. And coming up, we also have wealth mindset. That's going to be interesting, diving deep into your money beliefs, and a couple of other topics, which I can't remember. But I'm super open to your guys' suggestions about guests that you want to have on the show, as well as topics you want to cover. I don't know how long I'll go. It is a series, so I will stop at some stage. But for now, I'm happy doing that. I do love shining the light on other people and sharing the goodness. Thanks for joining me today. I'll catch you guys next time. This has been Fab Friday, and you have a fabulous weekend. Let me know what you're doing. We're pretty much just chilling here. And slowly expanding my bubble, not too quick. I'm pretty happy to just chill at the moment. All right, go away. Have a little think about your who, what, why, when, where, and how in your business. How maybe you might want to tweak or possibly judge what you're up to, so that you can still thrive and serve people and do what you were born to do. Awesome. I'll see you guys later. Bye.